What's up, Cowboys fan? Elliot here, letting you know my memorabilia collection is available on Fanatics.
Tim Cowshaw, Dallas Morning News. We've talked about the interceptions, and you've said they're going to stop in the way they never did. Does that just baffle you that they continue the way they did this year?
Yeah, it's very frustrating. Something I've got to get in the offseason, take a look at all of them. As I said before, they all have their own story, but can't happen. And the number that it's gotten to is ridiculous. And I can promise that the number will never be this again. I can promise that.
Promise? Promise. We talking about promises? Oh, yeah, we talking about promises today. What's up, y'all? We are in the gym live, baby. It is Supporter Saturdays, and we're doing things a little bit differently here today. That's right, baby. BG is in his Mr. Hyde bag. Normally, y'all know I'm in my Dr. Jekyll bag, but today we are in my Mr. Hyde bags. I want everybody to tune in today. I got a different tune I'm going to sing about our quarterback, DAK Prescott. All the while, we're going to inform all our green badges here today how to win the preseason Gym Rat of the Month challenge. So welcome everybody to the show today. I'm super excited today, man. I've been preparing pretty much a good part of this day for today's show. So I want to welcome everybody here. We're going to talk definitely some DAK Prescott. We're going to talk some training camp. We got a few things we're going to go over. We got some OAT BDG business to talk about too as well. As you guys see, I've got stat news up here of DAK Prescott's stats. That's right. We're going to go over that, especially when it comes to the interceptions. We want to welcome everybody to the show here today. We are streaming live on 4 different locations. We are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and on X. That's right. Throw up the X, no longer Twitter. In case you haven't heard, Elon Musk has rebranded Twitter into X. That's right, baby. So make sure you catch up on your news and notes here today. But where are all the green badges at today? I guess the gym rat, all the prizes been out in the mail, and everybody's not coming to the gym at the first of the month, huh? Is that how we do it? Welcome everybody today. We got a big show today. talking about Dak Prescott and the all-new format for Gym Rat of the Month when it comes to the preseason. Yeah, man. I had to get my towel, man. We in the gym, you know. You never quit. Just use the towel to wipe off the sweat and keep going, if you know what I'm saying. So we're going to be in this gym today. So if you're a green badge and you're tapping in, one of the few green badges that's online tapping in today, I see everybody's taking a day off today, it looks like. But if you're in the gym here today and you got a green badge, do me a favor, raise the bar. Let's get this conversation going here today. Y'all know the deal. Shout out to my girl, Caitlin, with the context on raising the bar with that little slogan there. We're going to raise the bar here as we're in the gym talking about Dak Prescott here today and the preseason. Have y'all been keeping up with what's been going on? I know the haters have been keeping up with the interceptions. We're going to talk about that. But before we got some other business and other news to get to. So let me just share with you guys what's going on with OAT over there. In case you didn't know, Official America's Team. This is one of the reasons why you support. As Facebook supporters here, you get these cool stories here on officialamericas.team.com. Like, y'all know, y'all hear me talk about Eagles fans all the time, right? Well, we've got a story with an Eagles fan in it out at LAX. So shout out to Star Status Cowboys Connection. I know they're deep out there at the Hall of Fame game. Maybe that's where everybody's at, the Hall of Fame. So, you know, I had to get my Hall of Fame towel out too as well. But we had a story come out of LAX, and it has to do with a Cowboys fan and a Eagles fan. Can you believe it? Dallas Cowboy fans and Eagles fans coexisting on the streets? You wouldn't think so otherwise, especially if you pay attention to social media, right? What up, baby? I see you. Facebook user tapping in. You know, the gym numbers is kind of low today, y'all. I don't know what's going on, but must be a Jake Paul fight or something to that effect. Everybody must be tuning in. Appreciate you tapping in. Facebook user, wouldn't be a show without you. Y'all know the deal. If you're watching for the first time on one of the 4 platforms, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, or on X, make sure you click that link and become a member of StreamYard so we can put a name with a face here today. But yeah, new story released on officialamericas.team.com. That's right. Shout out to Star Status. Like we said, they got big time things going on up there. Shout out to the prototype. I know she's busy up there. Star Status Cowboys Connection. I know Cuff and Lady Vice is busy up there too as well. Shout out to the green badges out there, the Star Status Cowboys Connection brand ambassadors. But how many of y'all remember the story about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? I see you tapping in from Corpus. What's up, Caitlin? How we doing here today? Appreciate you tapping in with the context. Let's go. Y'all know the green badges. If y'all are checking in, let's go raise the bar. We only got a few of us in here to gym today, so we're going to get this good workout. I know the haters will be chiming in real soon because we're going to put up some Dak Prescott stats. And, you know, I had to get my doctor or my Mr. Hyde on today, if you know what I mean. How many of y'all remember that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Huh? Yeah, I'm getting Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Normally, I'm Dr. Jekyll when it comes to our guy, Dak Prescott. You know, pretty stand-up dude. You know, we're not going to talk bad about Dak Prescott. He wears a star on his helmet. You know, we're not going to drag his name all through the mud like some of the Cowboy fans out there, you know, just what the doctor ordered. But I'm going to get my Dr. Hyde and my Mr. Hyde and Dr. Jekyll. Let me just get that right here today. That's right. There's also been a tale of 2 Daks. Y'all remember that last season when everybody was saying, you know, which Dak is going to show up? Is it going to be the Dak that can win a game, or is it going to be the Dak that is not able to win the game? You know, the one that was throwing all them picks or whatnot. Yeah, I got his stats up here. We're going to be talking about that shortly. So if you're just getting in the gym, y'all know the deal. Leave me a comment, especially if you're watching for the first time on one of the other platforms so we can get acquainted here today. But we are on Supporter Saturdays, and we're unveiling a few new things, especially how to win Gym Rat of the Month for August. It's a different format, y'all. Yeah, different format. We're going to up the game here, especially for the few of y'all that are here. You're going to be in the know first on how to be able to look at these 4 weeks we got mapped out. Y'all know every Saturday we're live here, especially on Facebook for Build Different Group, for all of the supporters. to give you an update, let you know what's going on, all the challenges. We talk some Cowboys too as well. And I'm going to get Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde today. Like I said, normally with DAK Prescott, I'm a little Dr. Jekyll all the time, right? Y'all know everybody's like, oh, you unrealistic, BG. You real unrealistic when it comes to DAK Prescott. You know, he's a interception machine. Well, we're going to take a look at some numbers here today. Is DAK Prescott really an interception machine? I've got his stats up here from StatMuse. On a tale of two DAKs. Y'all remember last season, everybody was like, you know, which DAK is going to show up in the playoffs, especially against Tom Brady and the GOAT, right? And then what DAK was going to show up that following week, you know, when we were facing the Niners, you know, the supposed team that's got our number, you know, that we see week 5. Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit here today. But looking at DAK Prescott's numbers, everybody seems to think DAK Prescott is a turnover machine when it comes to the INTs. Well, if you look at the numbers when he led the league, you seen that promise that he had coming in? You know, a lot of folks that say, all you do is praise DAK Prescott, BG. That's all you do. No, I'm all about holding DAK Prescott accountable. And that's why I made that interception promise video, because he came out and told us he promised that that number wouldn't be that high. How many of y'all remember that? Well, according to StatMuse, if you take an average out of the 7 seasons that DAK has played, you see he's got 3 seasons with single-digit interceptions. He had 4 his rookie year. He had 8 his 3rd year. He had 4 his 5th year, and then his 6th and 7th year, he had 10 and 15 respectively. Well, when you divide 65 out by 7, that comes out to about 9 interceptions a year, y'all. What? Are the haters really on to something? You know, I'm getting my Mr. Hyde on here today. Like I said, normally I'm all about supporting DAK and being on the upside about DAK, but today I'm getting in my Mr. Hyde bag because I kind of understand where the haters are coming from, especially when you take a look at the 7 years and you do that average, right? 7 years of those interceptions, 65 divided by 7 is about 9.02 or something out there. Where are the math experts at? Inquiring minds want to know, right? If you just tapping in for the first time, do me a favor, leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Hey, Cynthia, how you doing? Appreciate you tapping in here today on Facebook. Kaden says, I got them reps up expeditiously, as T.I. would say. Yeah, what you know about the Expeditiously podcast? I see you out there, Caitlin, with the context. Yeah, our numbers are kind of low today. I think all the prizes are in the mail, and everybody's no longer paying attention since I sent them their shipping tracking number, right? But it's all good as we talk about DAK Prescott, because I'm getting my Mr. Hyde on here today. How many of y'all remember that? This curious, strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You know, 2 polar opposites. One guy looks like he's got it all together, and one guy that looks like he doesn't. Well, that kind of sounds like DAK Prescott last season, right? Especially when they got into the playoffs. We're like, which DAK Prescott is going to show up? Y'all remember that? Everybody's always asking, which DAK Prescott? I hope the DAK Prescott that balls out like he played against Tom Brady shows up against San Francisco, and then he couldn't put up, what, 12, 15 points against the Niners defense, right? Well, DAK Prescott made a promise to us, and y'all know my big question of the show today is I gotta ask the big question of the show here today, especially because I know the haters gonna tap in here in just a minute. But for everybody tapping in here today, my big question of the show today is, will DAK break his interception promise this season? You know, he said the number 15 was too high, and he wasn't going to repeat that. The number would not be that high as a result, and he promised us. How many of y'all remember that? You know, we just had that coming in on the way entering the show. Like I said, I put up that promise video by the naked eye. You know, how many of y'all remember Naked Eyes? Promises, promises, knew you'd never keep. Will DAK Prescott keep his promise this season? Let's go, Green Badges. Where you at? Come on, it's time to raise the bar. Where is everybody at today? You know, I know it took about 30 seconds for my notifications to go off because I track stuff like that. So if you didn't get the notifications, do me a favor, make sure you turn on your notifications so when I'm live here, everybody can get into the conversation. And as always, if you're new here, if you're a guest here today, do me a favor, leave me a comment and let me know where you're watching from. We got plenty of things to go over here today, but the big question of the show is, will Dak Prescott break his interception promise? 3 out of 7 years, Dak Prescott has had single-digit interceptions or less. I see why a lot of folks think Dak Prescott can't get us to the promised land, especially when you do the averages, right? 65 interceptions over 7 years comes out to about a 9.02 average. Do the haters have a point? You know, last year was 15. He led the league, right? Tied the league for interception. He didn't lead the league in entire turnovers, though. We know that was Josh Allen, you know, the guy that they put on the front of the Madden cover. You know, he led the total league in interceptions and fumbles. I think with 19, I think he had 14 picks, something like that. Yeah, 5 fumbles lost or something like that. 19 total turnovers. That's the guy that they put on the front of Madden, but y'all know that's a whole nother story. But we're talking about our guy, Dak Prescott, here today. Will Dak Prescott break his interception promise? I need to know. We're getting our Mr. Hyde on here today, y'all, as we talk about the Dak Prescott interception promise. How many of y'all remember that mural when it went up in the DFW Metroplex? Shout out to Trey Wilder out there in the DFW Metroplex. Nobody knew who Trey Wilder was until that mural went up of Dak Prescott out there. Remember after that movie came out called Get Out? The narrative in Dallas was to Dak Prescott to get out, you know. Trey Wilder was approached, asked about it. He says, hey, man, I'm an artist. I let art speak for itself. I don't know. Is Dak Prescott going to have to get out of Dallas if he does not keep his interception promise this season coming up? I mean, he's throwing the ball around a lot in camp. Have y'all been paying attention to all the video out there in camp? Let's go, Green Badges. Where you at? Tap in. I need to hear from you here today. Let's raise the bar if you get on the line. Caitlin's already got her reps in, but we're talking about this Dak interception promise on our Mr. Hyde bag here today. Hey, Rebecca, how you doing? Appreciate you tapping in here today. Do me a favor, give me a share on your timeline. Appreciate you tapping in as we talk about Dak Prescott and his interception promise. We got Sam, the admin, checking in. I see you, the Green Badge says, what's good, BG? I came from work today. My hat in the mail. Appreciate you. That's what's up, man. Right on time. Congratulations on the hat that you won here today. Speaking of hats, that's going to be one of the first prizes we're going to be giving out. This week is the first prize here. As my guy Sam Harris says, he's got a hat. I've got this military style new era hat. As you can see, brand new, most size fits all. This is one of 4 hats you're going to be able to win as a Gym Rat of the Month. But how can you win it is another story. We're going to talk about that. But shout out to my guy Sam getting this hat in the mail. I got this cool military. Where are my veterans at? This bucket hat. You know, we got Heroes Day coming up on August 7th. That's in a couple of days. How many of y'all going out to training camp know about Heroes Day? Where are my veterans at, baby? But this is the first prize for Gym Rat of the Month for the preseason challenge as we kick it off. And I'll explain to you here in a few minutes, especially for Green Badges. Now, you're only going to be able to win this if you're a supporter of the content. That's right. You got to have your official gym membership. You got to make sure you got your green badge. What up, Big Dub? I see you know the Green Badge in the building. Says McCarthy going to run the ball more. I don't know about that. I think that run the ball slogan was a little bit of smoke, if you know what I mean. I mean, if you take a look at what's going on at camp, all we see is Tony Pollard and Deuce Vaughn coming out of the backfield. I think Malik Davis been the only one running the damn ball. But I see you, Big Dub. Appreciate you tapping in out there today. Andrew's tapping in, or Andre, sorry, rather. Andre says, I think if Dak can learn to be calm in big moments, he can be good. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, if you've seen that video as we were tapping in, man, a lot of them passes Dak was trying to gamble on. Like we hear Trayvon Diggs being called the gambler as he gambles on tackles. Dak was throwing those gambling picks last year. Now, we know a few of them picks got tipped up, especially like some of the ones out in training camp. We know the haters are keeping count. Where are the haters at? How many interceptions does Dak Prescott have in training camp? I need somebody that's watching that's a hater tapping in here today. I know y'all are keeping count out there, but I've already made my proclamation that Dak Prescott will not throw a single, not one. zero, zero, finito, zero, none, nada, zilch. Dak Prescott will not throw an interception this preseason. Out of all 3 preseason games, don't believe me? Just turn on your notifications and watch, baby. Yes, Bruno, yours is in the mail, baby. I sent you a tracking ticket, so make sure and check your DM. If I did not, I'll send it to you. But yes, yours is in the mail too, baby. It's a big Nike box. Look for it. Appreciate you tapping in here today. Yeah, you'd be surprised, Big Dub, how many people are not aware that Dak Prescott is probably not going to play any preseason games. But don't tell nobody, because we apparently got a lot of fans that are out there counting his interceptions in preseason. Now, some folks are supposed to be looking into the Vegas prop bet. Y'all know what prop bets are. Take a look at the prop bets out there in Vegas. You know, Bet MGM, where our Cowboy cousin Jamie Foxx, you know, they clone Tyrone out there, is a part of. There's supposed to be a prop bet out there. I'm trying to figure it out. Has anybody found out what the odds are on how many interceptions Dak Prescott is going to throw this season? Well, if we looked at the fact that he's thrown up to 9 on average, with 65 in the last 7 years, I'm curious to see what's that prop bet out there in Las Vegas looking like. Any of my Cowboy cousins, any of my green badges, anybody, any bettors here want to chime in and let us know? But back to the big question of the show. If you're just tapping in, Dak Prescott has promised he won't reach the number that he did. He said it won't be that high. Is Dak due to go down to a single-digit interception season this year? Well, if you look at the stats on StatMuse, we'll just pull those back up again while we're talking about our quarterback, right? You take a look at his stats there on a tale of 2 Dak Prescotts. You know, we don't know which Dak Prescott we're going to get. We don't know if it's going to be a Dr. Jekyll. Is it going to be a single-digit interception season? Is it going to be a Dr. Jekyll season for Dak Prescott? Or is it going to be a Mr. Hyde season for Dak Prescott today, as we talk about a tale of 2 Prescotts? Y'all send some comments up this way. Let me know you're not asleep out there. Y'all tap in with your boy. Another Facebook user says, I sure hope so. That might be my cousin, but I think he's out there fishing. What up? Is that you out there, RC at AK? Appreciate you, Facebook user, tapping in here today. But yeah, if you take a look at these stats, 65 picks over the last 7 years, y'all. Which Dak Prescott are we going to get this season? Is it going to be Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde? So y'all hold that thought on the big question of the show as we get through some more business here today. So shout out to all of the green badges that are tapping in. We got some green badge business and stuff to go over here. As always, when you come to the page, make sure you come to the front of the page every day. If you want to see my content on your timeline, it's imperative that you engage with the content here. So for green badges, make sure when you come to the gym every day and you get them reps, you come up to the featured section here on the page. Like we said, we just got this story out from LAX. I'll be going over that here a little bit more in a minute. Cowboys fans and Eagles fans coexisting out there. Watch parties. Now, I know all my Cowboy cousins out there, you know, we got the only official club directory on Official America's Team. I know all my Cowboy cousins out there are going to be getting around to some watch parties this season with their Cowboy cousins. But would you believe Eagles fans and Dallas Cowboy fans are coexisting at watch parties in LA? That's right, baby. That's the story we've been talking about. But come to the featured and check everything out. All my fantasy football players, BDG supporters, the fantasy football invite is out. We need a couple of more green badges to fill our league. Shout out to all of the top fans here. We have a top fan league going up this season. So it's already been posted. If you're a top fan here of the page, I know we're on Supporter Saturday, but we're showing some Top Fan love. We just did Top Fan Friday yesterday. Why everybody at training camp, right? Make sure you come up to the featured section here and learn all about what we got going on. Shout out to all of the members in OAT. If you're a Cowboy fan and you're in my group, Official America's Team, as we talk about DAK Prescott all in the month of August. You see him up there on my calendar, right? 4, put a 4 in the air for DAK Prescott. We got a DAK Prescott helmet from the Helmet Plug up in AC, or up in AK rather. My guy RC up in AK. Big Green Badge supporter here. Patreon State Board of Governor, new gang president up there, Alaska. So shout out to Bam down there in ATL for reaching his brand all the way up from the ATL to the AK. But we got a DAK Prescott helmet raffle going on in Official America's Team. So go to the pin post in the group if you want to be able to take place or participate in that raffle. However, once we get the raffle filled, we'll do a live stream in the group exclusively, and we'll announce the winner in there. So getting back to some more business here in the group on the page. Like we said, featured section. You got to make sure you come up to the featured section. That way you can stay in tune with everything that we got going on. But you know the drill. If you're just tapping in for the first time, leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from as we get through these green badge business, the OAT business. Now, how do you qualify? Where are my green badges at? Listen up. If you're a green badge, this is the only way you're going to be able to qualify. I feel sorry for all the green badges that won't be in the gym afterward. Now, all my green badges, if you happen to watch this after the fact, my hashtag replay gang, shout out to my hashtag replay gang. If you hashtag replay it, you'll be good to go. But how can you win this particular bucket hat from New Era as we kick off the preseason Gym Rat Challenge? Well, a few things. Like we said, last month was basically you just had to give some social currency. You had to be all over the post. You had to comment, like, and share. You had to join us in the gym on live shows. If you give stars, that's great. We always got a package for top star giver of the month, which I'll be announcing that shortly. Probably not today, but probably tomorrow I'll be announcing that. So make sure if you have stars, if you don't know what stars are, just hit that little gold star down at the bottom. Stars is a virtual currency here on Facebook. I know if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on X over there, if you're on YouTube, obviously you can't do that, but you got to jump over here on Facebook if you're on one of those platforms. So appreciate all of the professionals over there on LinkedIn. Shout out to everybody out there on the new platform X, no longer Twitter. You know, the artist formerly called Twitter. And then, of course, on YouTube, so shout out to all of the subs over there on YouTube. We got a cool new video coming out this week on the YouTube channel. So make sure you tune in for that. But yeah, you'd have to jump over here to get them stars. So gold star down there at the bottom. You can donate them to win cool prizes. But in order to win this green badge hat here today, there's a couple of things you're going to have to do. Great question, Charlie. Great question. How do you qualify to win? Let's just go through a few of these. First thing is, like we said, if you're not familiar with officialamericas.team.com, you will after the day if you want to learn how to qualify to win this bucket hat. So when you go to officialamericas.team.com, where we got the story over there of Eagles fans and Cowboys fans coexisting. Shout out to my guy, Cowboy Kev, the Prez out there, Star Status Cowboys Connection. Shout out to my guy, Chris Aaron out there. Yes, I coexist with Eagle fans too, baby, especially when we can just keep it football. Eagle SoCal family out there in LA, we see you. The rivalry is real. See, I even showed a little love to the Eagle fans here in the article. Eagle fans, I encourage you to read it too, especially if you're out there in the LAX area. But you need to come to officialamericas.team.com. Charlie, great question. Since you asked, how do you qualify? You have to join the mailing list. You have to subscribe. So that way, every time we publish stories like this about Cowboy fans and Eagles fans coexisting in LAX of all places, it'll land directly in your inbox. So that's the first thing you got to do. We got 4 steps you're going to have to take here today to be able to qualify. What I'll do is I'll take this link from the story here. I'll place it in the comments for everybody. So that way y'all can have easy access to it. Just click on that link. Visit OAT, read the story. That's part of it. You need to read the story about keeping football. So click that link, read that story, join the email list. That's step number one. That's the first rep. You know, like when you go to a gym and you got a workout plan, you may have 2, 3, 4 different reps or sets that you got to do. And then you got, 2, 3 sets you got to do on those reps. Well, that's the first set. That's the first rep right there is go to OAT and join the email list. Hey, Kelly, how you doing out there on the East Coast? I see you. Appreciate you tapping in here today. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. That link is in the comment section now. So how do you qualify? That's the first set. That's the first rep that you got to take. Go to officialamericansteam.com and join the mailing list. Let's get to the second one. Again, second thing you need to do in order to win. You don't do these things, you're not going to qualify. So if you're the only one of 3, 4, 5 green badges that pay attention to the gym workout today and get these reps in, get these sets in, you're going to increase your chance, which, by the way, is as every Saturday carries on throughout this month, there's going to be more tasks. There's going to be more sets and reps as we get through the remaining supporter Saturdays of this preseason challenge. This is how we're going to build some muscle. But this is how you're going to be able to win this cool little bucket hat. So shout out to all my veterans out there in the game. So you got out there, you sub to OAT. That's the first one. The second thing you need to do is you need to share this video here today on your timeline. That's called raising the bar. Remember, we talked about that already. You need to share this video on your timeline as we talk about raising the bar here. Shout out to my girl Caitlin who was tapping in. When we say raise the bar, that means you need to share this video, help the conversation grow. That's going to be your rep here today. In case you haven't already, trust me, I'm going to go back. I'm going to find out who is doing these reps or not. So recap real quick, go to OAT, join the email list, share this video. Pretty simple. We got 2 more that you got to do in order to get into the drawing for this bucket hat. But let's get back to the big question of the show. I haven't heard anybody answer this question. Sure is a whole lot of haters on this page. I've come out to find out that, this is a great segue for the next set that you're going to have to take. I got 85,000 people that follow me on Built Different Group. That means they have clicked turn on notifications. I'll just show you. I can show you better than I can tell you. So you can take a look over here on Facebook. You take a look at that. 39,000 folks like this. So number 3, what you need to do is, if you have not already, is you need to like this page if you're a green badge. That should be already done. That should be simple. But believe me, I know some few of you out there not even in the Cowboy Cousins group. We're going to get around to that. So make sure you like the page, because if I got 89,000 people following me that turn on notifications here, and I only got 39,000 people that like the page, what does that tell you? What it tells me is I got a bunch of haters following me over here on the Built Different group. So I'm wondering where they're at today as we're talking about DAK Prescott's interceptions. I'm surprised they're not crawling up all on the timeline right about now. But getting back to these steps that you need to take, like we said, we're 3 reps in, 3 sets in. First rep is you got to subscribe to officialamericansteam.com. Secondly is, like I said, you need to like this page and you need to share this particular show. So every week you can expect, you got to share the Supporter Saturday show to your timeline so other Cowboy fans that you are friends with on Facebook can see what you're doing with the cool kids and the cool kids crowd over here, right? Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I started doing the math. I said, why does so many people like or turn on the notifications? I know I tell everybody here every video because that's what's most important. The like is really not that important, but I'm trying to see, is it really that many people following us over here that dislike the Dallas Cowboys? Is that many fans of the other 31 that's following me over here? What's up, Tanya? I see you tapping in from Arkansas down there. I appreciate you being in the cut. We see you get them reps in as we talk about how you can win this bucket hat here today. So like this video, share this video, join the mailing list on Official America's team. We got one more rep we're going to get in, Charlie. So I appreciate you asking that question. But what is the final rep you got to do to win this bucket hat by New Era? The big question of the show, I think Dak Prescott is due to go back to his Dr. Jekyll state as we seen him in his all Mr. Hyde state last season, right? Leading the league with 57, or I'm sorry, with 15, not 57. Woo, that'd be a whole lot, man. Leading the league with 15 interceptions, right? And going into year 8, that over 7 years, that is about a 9 INT rate for Dak Prescott. Is he going to regress this season like we'll see the Philadelphia Eagles and a Jalen Hurts do? Guarantee you book it. But is Dak Prescott going to get in his Mr. Dr. Jekyll bag again? Coming off of these double-digit interception seasons, like he's had 2 over the past 2 years. He had 10 2 years ago and 15 last season. Which Dak Prescott are we going to get as we loop it back around? That was bugging me last season. Like, which Dak Prescott are we going to get, right? Is it going to be Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde? Well, I had to get in my Mr. Hyde bag here today. Because I can see where the haters are coming from. When you do the math and you average it out, I mean, almost averaging 10 picks a year. I mean, with this new Texas Coast offense, all I see is Dak Prescott throwing the ball. How many of y'all have been paying attention to what's going on out there at training camp? Like I said, they've been throwing it to Deuce. They've been throwing it to Tony Pollard. They've been throwing it to everybody. Even been throwing it to the defenders. I think he's up to what? How many? Is it about 10 interceptions now? 10 interceptions in training camp. Where the haters at? I know they're keeping count. But like I said, I guarantee you Dak Prescott won't throw an interception during this NFL preseason. You can book that. And I'm curious, is anybody found out where that prop bet was at on what are the odds on Dak breaking that promise? As we get back to the big question of the show, like I said, I think he regresses. I think we see a Dr. Jekyll come back with Dak Prescott this season after 2 seasons of double-digit interceptions. Under this new Texas Coast offense with Mike McCarthy at the helm. We know we got Schottenheimer, the OC over there, but all of the onus is going to fall on Mike McCarthy. Dak Prescott, a lot of good reports, ripping the ball around out there at training camp, even with Zach Martin not reporting yet. How many of y'all have been keeping up with that? That's right. Zach Martin, $500,000, half a ticket. Those of y'all don't know, a whole ticket is $1 million. Zach Martin is at a half a ticket right now, $500,000 when it comes to fine $50,000 a day for not showing up. A lot of folks are saying, oh, those fines will just be waived. Well, I don't know about that. But you got to turn on your notifications because it's going to be important to know, because I guarantee you if Zach Martin is not in this offensive line, then maybe we're going to see Mr. Hyde with Dak Prescott again this season, because I can guarantee you with all of the offensive line changes that we had last season, with a Zach Martin not coming up this season, especially holding out right now, we don't know when he's going to report, if he's going to report. There's been a lot of talk about trades out there, 2 number 1 picks, trade Zach Martin, like a whole bunch of foolishness, right? I see you, Vondell. Appreciate you tapping in today. So I love the Cowboys. See you out there in Stafford, Virginia. He said he may ask for a trade. I don't know about Zach Martin asking for a trade. I think he's just trying to make a point when it comes to the Joneses, right? Where you listen to half of the fan base, they're going to say, well, Zach Martin needs to honor his contract and get his ass to camp, which on one half of the conversation and the argument I agree with. He was paid at market value. Every year the market goes up. We know a lot of the Dak Prescott haters did not seem to understand how the salary cap worked when it came to, paying quarterbacks or, what the contract trajectory is going to look like when Dak Prescott, remember them 2 years we went through trying to figure out what Dak Prescott was going to get paid, and everybody said Dak Prescott was overpaid at $40 million a year, right? And now look at how much Daniel Jones got paid over there in New York. Yeah, but Zach is at a half a ticket, and he needs get his tail to training camp, because as we talk about this tale of two Daks between Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, definitely going to be a Mr. Hyde season for Dak Prescott if we don't have a Zach Martin in the lineup. Do you agree or not? Let me know in the comments there below as we get through the rest of the show here today. But going back over those 4 things that you need to do, Charlie, great question asked, how do I qualify to win this bucket hat? Well, if you're a green badge here today, that's the only way you're going to win it. So if you're not a green badge, hit that green badge next to that star down there below, especially if you like the content here today. This is how you be able to win cool prizes this month. There'll be 4 prizes to give away this month. This is going to be the first one. Every Saturday, I'll be unveiling another prize and a new gym workout for you to go through. Like, go to OAT.com, join the mailing list, read the Keep It Football article that we did on the Cowboys fans and the Eagles fans out there getting together to watch those games. Make sure you share this video. That's number 3, right? And then lastly, you got to like this page, right? We say like, share. Yeah. All of those, all 4 of those. That's going to qualify you as a green badge. So green badges, if you watch this after the fact, maybe you was busy watching the Jake Paul fight, or maybe y'all out there at the Hall of Fame getting it in with Star Status Cowboys Connection. It's all good. If you're back, you're relaxing right now, maybe you're sitting on the toilet, you got time to sit down and watch BG, make sure you use hashtag replay, because green badges, this is the only way you're going to be able to win when it comes to Gym Rat of the Month for preseason. And like I said, as we progress through these workouts through the month of August, if you miss a workout, you're not going to have a chance to win. Literally missing one workout is going to cause you the chance to lose this challenge overall. So make sure y'all go through that. Use hashtag replay when you watch it. As we talk about a tale of 2 Daks today, man. Gregory says, get Zach in camp. It's not about money. It's the principle with him. Do you agree? Yeah, I agree. Especially, I mean, I see both sides of the argument. Like, he been paid. Take your ass to camp, Zach. You know, I'm with the selfish crowd. You know, the same folks that called Dak and Zeke selfish, you know, especially when we're seeing Zeke go to Cabo. Dak, you know, was never talking about his contract. And, you know, most folks didn't understand Dak. Jerry and them was waiting on that TV money and that TV deal to get done so that way they could factor in the numbers on his contract. That was part of the equation. But, of course, we know the Jerry Joneses of the world, the Joneses and the star up there, they like to kick the can down the road. They don't ever take care of business right off the jump. And especially when it comes to players getting paid, we got to see them hold out or go to Cabo or get fined $50,000 a day to where now Zach Martin is at half a ticket. Then on the other hand, I mean, the guy's got a 99 rating, as we talk about maybe a tale of 2 Zachs, as we talk about a tale of 2 Daks here today. But as we get into some more news that you can use, so if you're tapping in and like I said, you're going to training camp, here's some training camp news that you can use. I'll make sure and put this link in the comments down there for you below. This is the training camp Oxnard. Visit Oxnard official website. It's got all of the training camp details on there that you need to know. And it's talking about August 7th for Heroes Day. So make sure if you're going to training camp on Monday, it's Heroes Day. So if you're a first line responder, and yes, we did confirm USPS workers or mail post office workers are frontline, right? All my military, be in uniform, show up with your ID, nurses, medical folks, frontline responders. You know, it's Heroes Day with the Dallas Cowboys, where they honor the heroes out there. And I've placed that link in the comments for you. So if you're watching this, you can have access to that so you can learn about Heroes Day. It's going to be packed out there, but they're giving some parking away. I think you get in free. There's some benefits to that if you take advantage. You know, Oxnard is right out there where Port Hueneme is. So shout out to all my Navy vets out there, active duty, past and present. Loved it up there in Port Hueneme, you know, driving up PCH, Pacific Coast Highway there, or the 101. What is it? Yeah, I think PCH there. You know, a lot of folks don't realize that's kind of where they film all them car commercials at, out there on the West Coast. How many of y'all knew that? You ever remember seeing them car commercials where they're driving along the coastline and you see the water out there and the waves? You see like a bunch of look like little mountains and little rocks right out there. It looks like, you know, right off the coastline as they drive through. That's one location. That's right out there on Pacific Coast Highway going north from LA up to Oxnard. So shout out to everybody out there in Oxnard. Like I said, all my veterans out there in Port Hueneme. August 7th, like we said, news you can use. August 7th is Heroes Day for training camp. So shout out to everybody that's out there today. I know they're doing a meet and greet. So Orange County Cowboys is out there. Star Status Cowboys Connection. Southern California Dallas Cowboys Fan Club is out there. The Hard Hitters is out there. Everybody is out there representing that camp. So we see you all out there, boots on ground. Chance is tapping in, says Martin needs to come on with its becoming less of a money thing and more of a moral thing. The team needs him and the fans need him. The franchise needs this. This is our season. Yeah, I'm with you. Like I said, I'm not surprised. Well, I am surprised, rather. You know, the same fans that were calling Dak and Zeke selfish, they're not out there calling Zach selfish. But we know all Cowboy fans don't keep that same energy because, quite frankly, I've shared with y'all before that all Cowboy fans that wear merchandise aren't DC for L. But I agree with you. I see both sides of the argument, Chance, and I agree. It's going to be bad if we see a Mr. Hyde with Zach Martin holding out or maybe something happening where he's not in this lineup. And definitely Mr. Hyde when it comes to Dak Prescott, because without Zach Martin on this line, you take a look at Dak's 15 that he threw last year. A lot of that was because of the musical chairs that was being played on the offensive line. Can I get an amen? What up, Park Ranger? I see you tapping in. Appreciate you tapping in. Make sure you scroll back and watch this. We got some steps you got to take to be able to win this bucket hat. So shout out to all my veterans as we talk about Heroes Day. In honor of Heroes Day, we're going a little military here today with the giveaway. So shout out to all my veterans, past and present. If you're a supporter of the content here, my girl Shamika out there, president of RVA City Fan Club. Kelly says, just check back in. Have you discussed the kicker fiasco? Ain't even got to that. Ain't even got to the kicker fiasco. It's definitely a fiasco out there. You know, between Tristan Vizcaino and Brandon Aubrey, the guy from the USFL. I mean, I told you, not only with that emergency lever that Jerry Jones has up there for Ezekiel Elliott in case this running back situation don't pan out, he's also got that, well, that's Mike McCarthy. He's got his own lever to pull in case of emergency from Mason Crosby. I don't know about that kicker situation. We're going to have to see here as these preseason games get underway, but great context, Kelly, as always, as we get ready to wrap up the show here today. We had to roll out the preseason Gym Rat Challenge. So we talked about that, things you need to do. Join the emailing list, like this video, share this video, and make sure you read that Keep It Football. It's a great motto there by Star Status Cowboys Connection. You know, Cowboy, if only Cowboy fans and Eagle fans and all NFC East fans here that follow us could keep it football, we'd have a pretty cool little community. But we got folks that can't coexist, and we got a bunch of delusional Eagle fans on our timeline, but it's all cool. Gregory's tapping back in. He says, without Zach, it would be hard for Dak to keep that interception promise. I know. I mean, it was hard last year with Zach in the lineup and the changes that we had on the offensive line. Nobody really wants to talk about that. But you're right, Gregory. He says, not only is Martin one of the best, he's the quarterback. He's the quarterback of that offensive line. You got that right. Bing, 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 bing. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Hitting the nail on the head there. Gregory, I see you. But that's a tale of two Daks. So which Dak are we going to get? Are we going to get Dr. Jekyll this season, or are we going to get Mr. Hyde? Well, based on the, 7 seasons he's been in, he's had 3 single-digit seasons when it came to interceptions. The rest of them, the other 4 were double-digit. He's had 2 double-digit seasons the past 2 seasons. It looks like the odds are he's going to regress this season. But I don't know, especially when you throw in that Zach Martin deal and this Texas Coast offense, because the way Dak Prescott is throwing it out there, Nobody's going to know till week 1. And that's why I said Dak Prescott, and I guarantee this, he will not throw an interception during one of our 3 preseason games. Don't believe me? Just watch. Most of my enlightened Cowboy fans out there know exactly what I'm alluding to, but you'd be surprised the amount of Cowboy fans that don't know. But we'll just keep that between you and I. So appreciate y'all tapping in here with me today. But we've been going over the preseason Gym Rat of the Month challenge. You learned how to win that cool hat. We talked about some news that you can use. We've been talking about our guy, Dak Prescott, a tale of 2 Daks. I don't know. I'm going to find out what this prop bet's going to be like. And we're going to talk about that. So in case you didn't know, in the month of August, we got Dak Prescott on the calendar. So all month, we're focusing on our guy, Dak. And like I said, for my Dak haters that say all I do is love Dak out there, well, I created that Promises by the Naked Eyes. That video, yeah, that was dedicated to holding Dak accountable. Oh, you think I'm in my Mr. Hyde bag now? I'm real light here today. But if Dak Prescott breaks that promise, oh, you're going to see a real big bag of ugly Mr. Hyde come out. And I'm BG the Cowboys Unifier. I appreciate y'all tapping in here today. Make sure you watch this after the fact. Use hashtag replay. And if you're new here watching this for the first time after the fact, leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. And remember, green badges, you must get your gym reps in. You got to do those 4 things. Just to recap, join the email list, like this video, or like the Facebook page. You got to read the article, and you've got to share this video on your timeline. So make sure you do all 4 of those things so you can qualify to win the preseason Gym Rat of the Month challenge. We've been talking about a tale of 2 Daks, and now we got a tale of 2 BGs. So y'all pay attention. You never know which BG is going to come out. Is it going to be Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde? We'll see y'all in the gym on the next episode.